Welcome to the Comic Book Savant YouTube channel. I have been doing videos now for a few months, and I've never went into any detail explaining to you viewers what Comic Book Savant is, and now that we're going into a new year, what are some of my goals or intentions for the channel. Originally, and was still Comic Book Savant is as a base of a theory. It started as a podcast back in 2006. I've been doing the podcast for just over 12 years now. I've had a ball doing it. I talk about everything in comics. It's just not comic reviews. I cover comic book movies, comic book television shows, as you've seen by just the samples of videos I've put out on the channel. Anything in comic culture, if I feel like it's important to talk about, if it's current comics, past comics, certain issues that are arising in the comic book industry that I think that's important to you guys as comic book fans, as myself, I try to cover via the podcast. And again, the YouTube channel is basically an extension of the podcast. As time goes on, I will be picking up doing more videos and transferring more so to being a YouTube channel from the origins of doing the podcast. To date, I have over 300 odd episodes of the podcast over the previous 12 years. I normally release episodes on a weekly format. I'm looking to, in 2018, one of my biggest goals across the board is via the YouTube channel as well as the audio podcast, is to put out more output. I've been doing it for a long time, and I want to grow and expand. And one of the biggest ways of doing that is having more content available to you guys as viewers and or listeners. So that is one of the biggest goals going into this new year, is increased output across the board. Just doing one show weekly, or on the schedule that I've been doing more so recently, is one audio show and then one video per week. That input you will see increase as I get the production schedule together. I'll be putting out more videos and audio on a weekly basis, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that. Excuse me. With all that being said, again, this is a channel and or podcast, depending what side of the street you're coming from, that covers this everything comic books. That's always been the mission statement of the podcast. That will be the mission statement of the YouTube channel. I cover what I feel and what I'm passionate about. I feel like I'm going to produce the best content for you guys as viewers and our listeners by producing the things that I care about and I'm passionate about and I can speak passionately about. There's a lot of things going on in the comic book industry, as far as the movies, the television shows, how they affect the comics themselves and vice versa. So it's a lot to talk about. I hope you guys continue on this journey with me as I try some new things. I might stumble along the way, but I hope you guys are there to enjoy the ride that we'll take together. More so, when I say this is this is my chronicle journey through comics as culture changes and society changes, and the books themselves and the subject matter they cover get wider and more broad. Where I started as a comic book fan and reader 12 years ago when I started all of this, to where I am now has greatly evolved based on things that I got suggestions from listeners, and then meeting different people and getting kind of inside the comic book industry, meeting artists and writers, and just expanding my view on what comics were for me as a kid, to me in my early 20s, to now being a 40-year-old adult. My taste in comics have vastly changed, and that's the cool thing about comics. There's so much to choose from and pick from. And again, I hope you enjoy the content. I hope I give you good suggestions or even point you in the right direction of making change your perspective on how you look at comics. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. It appears. So I look forward to us going on this journey together. If you ever want to find anything about Comic Book Savant, you can always go to www.comicbooksavant.com. I always put that tagline in the videos. You'll always see it in the description and the video for the videos below. You can always go there to find anything that I post, be via audio or video. I make sure I post anything that I put out on that site. And pretty much at this point, with the YouTube channel being up a few months, any audio episodes I put out, I post here on the YouTube channel in audio form. So you can always pull those up and listen to them here as well, or you can subscribe via iTunes. You can just look it up under Comic Book Savant. And that's all I have for you guys this week when it comes to it. I just want to give you an idea, a little bit about myself, what all of this is about. And it's kind of funny, you kind of normally when you're a YouTuber, you put these videos out first. I waited to put out, I don't know, 20 some odd videos before I even tell you guys, if you're new to this, what I'm all about and what I'm looking to accomplish. So I'm looking forward to us continuing this journey into the whole comics fandom together. Hope you guys are along for the ride, and I hope you enjoy the content that I've put out so far. I look forward to hearing from you guys in the comment section below. You can always follow me on social media. It's going to be at Comic Book Savant on Twitter, Instagram. It's a Comic Book Savant Facebook page and group. You can just search for under Comic Book Savant. You can find me all over social media. So if you always want to reach out, do it in the comment section below. Do it online. I'm always available, and I always try to respond as quickly as possible. So I hope to hear from you guys soon, and I'll see you later for another video from Comic Book Savant. Take care.